Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know I said just before Christmas that I would try and film and upload more, and I did a couple of vlogs, but then it sort of petered out a little bit. I did actually have a sped up version of me doing my Christmas tree, and I had a Christmas vlog. Things just got very busy for me. It was my first Christmas being in charge at work, so I had sale to deal with, which was very tough. But I thought for my first video back I would do a 20 facts about me. Everyone seems to do these at some stage, and I believe a couple of years ago I did a blog post, a 20 facts about me blog post. So if I can find that, or even if I did it, I will leave it in the description box below. It'd be interesting to see what I wrote then to what I'm gonna say now. But yeah, so here's 20 facts about me. So my first name is actually Amelia Joy. It's not just Amelia, I'm hyphenated. I used to really dislike it, and I was always called Millie when I was younger. Apparently the story behind it was that my parents were on the way to the registry office and they liked the look of my name hyphenated, so that's how I became hyphenated. When I was younger it did used to bother me that all my friends had a middle name and I didn't, but I've sort of just grown out of it and I really like being called Amelia Joy. I tend to be called just Amelia all the time. I'm actually a natural blonde, and you won't believe me, and nobody does, because my eyebrows are actually naturally dark. If I can find a picture or get one of my family to find a picture, I will insert it for you. But yeah, I was born blonde. As I grew up, my hair got longer, my hair actually got darker, and then I started colouring it and bleaching it from about the age of 13, 14, so it's sort of just gone drastically downhill from there. But yeah, I've always had slightly darker eyebrows than my natural hair colour. My three favourite films in order are The Breakfast Club, Titanic and Deathly Hallows Part 2, or Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. As everyone knows, Harry Potter is a massive part of my life, and although I've loved all of the films for their own reasons, Deathly Hallows Part 2 is my favourite one, but I do have other favourite films as well. The Breakfast Club I think has an amazing soundtrack, and although it wasn't really like a pivotal thing in my life like Harry Potter was, I feel that it was slightly different and it was slightly quirky, and I really liked it, and the soundtrack obviously. I currently live on my own. I have my own little flat in Dorchester. You probably all knew that. Last Christmas I was, not the Christmas just gone but the Christmas before, I was room renting in somebody else's house, and then during the middle of the summer I was living back at home. But yeah, I live on my own at the moment. This one's a slightly odd one, but as you can probably see I like striped clothing, but up until a couple of years ago I actually didn't like the colour blue, so I didn't really wear striped a lot, or if I did it was like black and white. Don't know what it was, I just really didn't like it. People won't believe me because my prom dress was actually blue, so I had blue shoes and a blue bag, but yeah, I wasn't actually keen on the colour blue. Obviously I'm a fan of it now. From the age of 3 or 4 I did ballet for 13 years. I had to give it up because of school and sixth form, because it was just unfortunately something I couldn't keep up with all my schoolwork. But yeah, I did it for 13 years. I was everything from a mouse, I performed in a Doctor Who themed dance. My favourite dance that I ever did though was as a swan to a song from the Carnival of the Animals called Swan, and that one I performed on point and I absolutely loved it. I've never felt more graceful. If you've seen my tattoo video you probably already know this one, but I plan on getting my full right arm in a black and white sleeve. Now nobody's really happy about this in my family, but it's something that I want to do. There's a lot that has meaning to me in my life, or things that have happened that I want to remember in some way, so I plan on getting my right arm done. If it doesn't happen and I just have a couple more tattoos, then that's perfectly fine as well, but my long-term plan is I do want to get my right arm done. Again, this one's a slightly weird one, but I'm actually a bit of a messy eater. It was a lot worse when I was living away last year, because where I was living in somebody else's house I only sort of really had the bedroom, so I would eat in bed quite a lot, and obviously I would spill quite a lot down myself. One of my favourite pastimes is something my grandma taught me when I was younger. She taught me how to knit and crochet and sew, and I recently picked up my knitting again. I had a slightly longer holiday than usual and I didn't really want to sit at home and do nothing, so I decided I would pick up knitting again. I started making squares, so they were sort of 50 by 50 squares-ish, and then I didn't really know what to do with them, so I started sewing them together, and I've actually started to make what I think I'm going to make it into a blanket. Originally I thought it was going to be like cushion covers, but I think a blanket is something I can take with me everywhere. So it looks like this. I don't know how well you can see it, but I've got 3 colours. I've got blue, purple, and then the pink at the bottom, and then I've just sewn another blue line on. It's really coming along and I'm really happy with it. Although I don't eat them at the moment because I'm trying to be healthier and lose some weight before I go on a big holiday next year, one of my favourite like food things is chocolate spread and crisp sandwiches. I actually got shown like crisp sandwiches when I was in sixth form, and it sort of carried on a little bit of an obsession, but yeah, I absolutely love it. I don't know what it is. I think it's probably a combination of my 2 favourite things, chocolate and crisps. I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks this, but I hate having coppers in my purse. When I get given change and there's like 1p's or 2p's, as soon as I get home I have to take them out. I just hate having coppers in my purse. As many of you will know, my long-term goal is to become an author. Stemming from that, the thing that I want more from my life is to be a published author. Everyone in their own respect can say they're an author. You know, you wrote a poem, or I could be classed as an author because I write blog posts, but I'd like to be a published author. I'd like to have a book of mine that I've written on a shelf in a store. The only English television show that I actually watch is Doctor Who. Every other show that I watch is American. I have a couple of favourites, but the one that I sort of or the 2 that I repeatedly go back to are The US Office and Supernatural. Those are my 2 favourite American shows, but yeah, the only English show I watch is Doctor Who. I watch it religiously and I love it. I'm actually going to the Doctor Who experience in Cardiff for my 21st birthday. It was a gift from my friend, so I'm very excited to be going to that as well. Slightly stereotypical, but I actually love cooking. I really love making things and testing out different recipes and different ingredients and different spices and herbs. But I think at the moment my favourite thing to make is pasta. I know it sounds really boring, but pasta and sauce, I really like making different versions of sauces. When I was living back at home for a small while, I would make pasta with a pesto sauce. I would make it with tomato sauce. I'd make a cheese sauce, like a roux sauce. I absolutely love cooking. A few years ago when I was in school, I visited Russia. It was a completely inspirational experience. It was mainly a history trip, but other people were given the opportunity to go. I obviously went for the cultural aspect and I absolutely loved it. I didn't think I would, and I was slightly apprehensive, but having been and come back, it was a totally worthwhile experience. I don't think I'll ever go again, but I'm glad that I can say I did. We visited St. Petersburg and Moscow. We visited the Summer Palace and the Winter Palace. We went to Gorky Park. We learned all about Anastasia and her family. It was absolutely amazing. As you can probably tell, there's a big difference in my hair between now and this time last year. I had my hair cut last year in honour of cancer research, and I'll never regret doing it. There was a small part of me that wanted to go the whole way and go bald, but unfortunately I did have to think logistically in that I had to make money, and although certain employers say they don't stereotype or box people, I knew that I would be for the location that I live. But I will leave a link to the blog post and the video that I did all about it down below. There's footage from when I was actually having my hair cut, what my hair looked like before, what it looked like straight after, and it's actually really fascinating for me to see how short my hair actually was, because I think my hair is short at the moment, but when I see how short it was when it was cut, I think actually it's grown so much in the last year. One of the questions that a lot of people get asked, like when you've met someone new or you're doing like an online quiz, is if you could meet anyone, dead or alive, who would you meet? And again, it's slightly weird, but I wouldn't know who to pick. There are so many people that I find inspirational or motivating, or that I have huge celebrity crushes on. I just wouldn't be able to pick one particular person. I love so many people, from both the acting industry to inspirational speakers to bloggers and YouTubers. There's just so many people that I would love to meet. You wouldn't think it at the moment because the length that my nails are, but I'm actually a chronic nail biter. Up until August, September last year, I had bit my nails since I knew what nail biting was. That comes from my grandma because she's also a chronic nail biter, but my mum never was. I don't know what it was, something inside me just clicked and I wanted to have long nails again. It's taken a long time to grow them, and I do get a lot of people at work ask me, are they real? And I'm like, they are. I mean, proof I broke my thumbnail the other day. But yeah, I really like having long nails because I've got quite short stubby fingers, so I feel like it makes my hands look bigger. Although I'm not in school anymore, I love buying stationery. I absolutely adore Paper Chase and I wish I could go there all the time. But I love having new notebooks and new pens and new felt tip liners. I just love stationery. And the last fact about me, it's a little bit soppy, but if this last year has taught me anything in my life, it's that family is the most important thing to me. With family, I mean my immediate family, my extended family, Ben's family. They mean the world to me, and although we might not see eye to eye all the time, I don't know what I would do without them. This last year has really changed me as a person. I've learned to appreciate the smaller things in life, the smaller moments that I have with them. But yeah, my family are the most important people to me. That is 20 facts about me. I hope you learned something interesting about me today, but hopefully I will have some more videos at some stage for you. I can't guarantee when they will be. I have a flat to look after. It's like a baby, it's always messy. I hope you enjoyed this video. All the links to my social media will be down below, so don't forget to check them out and head over to my blog. I just recently posted a birthday motivation post about 3 different outfits that I would love to be able to wear for my upcoming 21st birthday. Have a good day and I will see you soon.